This is a message for international students if they are thinking of getting into a research career. And the answer to get into a research career is really simple. I don't want you to go for the ask. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that in this video. And this is going to help you actually get into a research career. It's going to help you get into a PhD program. It's going to help you actually do well by finding people that want to work with you. And that is everything. That's everything. Is finding the right person to work with, and that's going to transform everything that you experience. So what is this easy solution? Don't go for the ask. I see this so often, and I feel so sorry, and I realize it's my life and your life. It's not fair, right? Like there's not a lot of fairness that goes on in the world around us, but I'm going to help you think about how to get out of that if you want to get into a research career. And I had all sorts of privileges being born and raised. I was born and raised in Canada. I have lots of privileges that it was not fair. And I understand that. And I'm deeply appreciative of that fact. But I want to help you so that you do really well. But it's going to require a lot of work. It's going to require you to do nights and weekends, probably for about 3 months, working on something. And the nights and weekends, I want you to work on at least an hour every single night. And I want you to at least work on this probably about 4 hours a day every single weekend. And I know that that's a lot of work, and there's very little payout that you might get from this, but it's going to help you out a lot. The only thing that I want you to do is to go to a university that you really, really want to go to. I want you to do this. Go to that university's website. Go and find a department that you're interested in. So you're interested in anthropology, go to the anthropology department. If you're interested in science or you're interested in chemistry, go to the chemistry department. Go down the list, randomly pick somebody on that list that is either what's called an assistant or associate or full professor. And that's all I want you to do. Randomly pick somebody. That's it. And then start reading all of their stuff. Read as much as you possibly can. Take notes. Go through, and this is where it's going to take you the nights and weekends. It's going to take a lot of time to read through an academic article, and they're going to be painful. You're not going to like it. Nobody likes doing that, by the way. I don't know of anybody. There's probably some people out there that get pleasure from doing this, but I certainly don't. It's hard, and I don't like actually doing it. At the end, I'm like, oh, that was interesting. But when you're doing it, it's not going to feel good. And I want you to take notes and think about it. And especially once you get to the future research section, go through and take notes on what they would like to do research on. Now, once you've done that, put that information into some artificial intelligence, ChatGPT. There's a free version of that on the internet. You can go to, I hope you got access to a library or a coffee shop. Go to that library or coffee shop and find that information. Now, the papers, I realize some of the papers are not all available. That's okay. What you need to do is just go onto Google search and find that information on Google search. Find as many free versions. They're called working papers. They're called, maybe there's abstracts. Just find that information on that specific person and start taking notes. And once you take notes, what I want you to do is put it into artificial intelligence and say, help me write a research paper on this. And all of this is going to take you a long time. All of this is going to take you so much time that you will probably give up doing that. And I guarantee you're going to not want to do it. So at the end of it, I want you to have a 5-page, 10-page research paper specifically about a single researcher. That's it. That's all I want you to do. Then you can reach out to that person and say, hey, I wrote this research paper about you. I'm very interested in what you're doing. And that's it. And say, at what point it would be nice to talk to you. Don't ask to go to their program. Just say, I'm very interested in what you're doing. I love what you're doing. I'm very fascinated with what you're doing. Those kind of things. And say, I would just love to talk to you and see where you're from. I'm from X and X country. And I would just love to talk to you. I've done all of this work. I've spent the last 3 months, the last 6 months doing all this work. And this is what I want to show you. And I'm very fascinated in what you're doing. That's it, right? That's all you have to do. Okay, here's what's going to happen though. I guarantee this is what's going to happen is most of the time nobody's going to reply, right? And that's okay. So then what you want to do, you send that email to somebody, you find their email, you send that email, and nobody replies after a week, 2 weeks, then you go onto that list. So you go back to those research papers. You pick your favorite research paper. On that research paper, there will be a lot of citations. Go into ChatGPT, go into artificial intelligence, or do this manually. You could do this manually, it's no biggie. Just count the number of times that somebody else has been referenced in that research paper, and then find the one that has the most number of times that they've been referenced. Contact that person, do the same thing on their website, go through all of their readings, all the things that they've talked about, and then contact that person with the same sort of setup. And you do that repeatedly, and you will find somebody, and it's going to take you months and months and months and months and months. It might even take you 2 years. But what's the alternative, right? Your alternative is sitting there thinking about how you can get in or doing asks and not getting anywhere. If you do this, you will gain traction and it will work. It will definitely work, and you will be proud of the fact that you actually did that. And at the end of it, you'll probably be pretty good at understanding what somebody else is saying, and you'll be able to talk their lingo a little bit more. That's the reason. So what's happening on the other end is somebody is thinking, I just have to do so much work. I really want to help. I really, really want to help you, but it's just so much work that I can't do that. I don't have the time at this moment. They're thinking of you as an investment of time. And if you are getting closer to the dock, so there's this great analogy. So you imagine yourself, you're on a boat, and you're trying to get, you're trying to dock the boat. So you want to get that boat as close to the dock as possible before you make that leap, or else you're just going to end up in the water. So you get that super close, and then you build this relationship. And over time, you reach out to, especially if you take this seriously and you do this, you're going to build some relationships. You might not necessarily, they might not say, hey, come work over here, or we're going to try to get you to come here. But they might say, I want to build some relationships with you. Now, if this takes you 5 years, if this takes you 10 years, isn't that a great way of doing it? That's the surefire way that's actually going to work out. It's just one step at a time, one little thing, and it's a ton of work. It's all a ton of work. It's painful, but the whole career is a ton of work. That doesn't go away, and you have to kind of get used to the fact that you're going to do a ton of work. You're going to get no credit for it. It's going to feel like, what am I doing here? This is silly. Everybody's making fun of me. It's going to feel all of those things, but you go do that anyways, and you do it repeatedly until it clicks. That's the career. That's essentially it. So if you can do this, you will do really, really well. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.